Hi, my name is Maddie Keller, and I got to go on an SUU study abroad to South Africa and Swaziland. I went for almost half a month, like 3 weeks, and through May 12th through the 31st in 2018, and it was life-changing. Couple things about me. First is I'm an outdoor rec major, so this is a really good opportunity for me to learn about conservation in a different country. Also, we learned about photography, which is super important, which is why I picked this photo for the main screen, the girl. That was one of my favorite photos that I took. That was us during one of our community services. So we babysat these kids, so they were part of the community and they went to daycare. And we gave them a ton of food and we gave them toys to play with. And that was super fun to hang out with them for most of the day. And then the picture on the left is my friend Yuri. He is on a zip line in one of the game parks that we got to go to. And it's super cool because that game park wasn't really visited much. And they were trying to find ways to get people to come to that game park. And one of the ways was by adding a zip line in. Okay, we got to go to 5 different game parks, various in sizes and different animals. The game park on the left with this animal licking the oranges. I'm not sure what the animal's name is, but it just sat there like frozen when I took that picture. This game park only had prey animals, so you could walk around without any worry of an animal hurting you. And so they have hiking and biking. They also had a wedding going on when I was there, which was really cool. Really pretty place. And they call it the King's Backyard because the Palace of Swaziland is right next to it. So that's really cool. And then this elephant over here, that was the game park where the lions were at, which was super cool. So the elephant was actually in the lion pen, because lions will not hunt elephants because elephants can defend themselves. And then the zebra is actually a baby zebra. And I took that at probably the most well-known game park, Kruger National Park, which is in South Africa. And that park is huge. It took us probably 12 hours to get to one of our campsites, like driving through the park. Like it is just massive landmass, which has its benefits because you can have all the animals living together, like lions, cheetahs, all the animals together. They're not separated off like they are in the other game parks. But from a tourism point of view, Kruger, it was kind of hard to find the animals. You're actually like out in the bush, like because there's so much land that you can't get to them in your vehicle, and you're not allowed to get out of the car. The way you went to the bathroom, if you're wondering, is they have these huge metal fences around like rest stops and like huge gift shops and like restaurants to eat at. So it's a pretty cool park. Really recommended. They're each different. I did like the smaller parks more because I got to meet people and hear their stories, which I really enjoyed. The culture. Here are some of the people that I got to meet. On the right, we have the snake lady. That is what I call her. She is holding a black mamba. One bite from that will kill you. They're one of the most poisonous snakes in the world, and she's holding it in her hands. Really cool picture. So her biggest, like her story, like she's a conservationist for snakes. The way it all started is her kid did a project on some snakes, and of course, like being a mom, she did her kid's project for him, and she started getting really interested and saw that there was a snake handling class. And she went to the snake handling class. The snake trainer was like, okay, who's ready to catch a black mamba and get certified? Everyone else in the room had their share and walked out, and she was the only one trying to catch a black mamba. So she is certified with all snakes, but since she has that educational background of like looking up and getting interested in snakes, she realizes the importance of them. So she does not harm snakes. She just catches them and releases them back into game parks where they'll be safe and add to the ecosystem. She also collects anti-venom, and she started like almost like an insurance thing where you need 4 bottles of anti-venom if you get bit by a black mamba. But you pay for 1 bottle up front, and so if you get bit, then they'll give you the other 3 free. And then in the middle, we have the father of conservation in Swaziland and his wife. He was big in saving the rhinos. So rhinos are one of the most poached animals in Africa because of their horn, ivory. Yeah, he just was trying to raise awareness and money to try to save the rhinos. He's in the heat right now for selling, I think it was 5 elephants to San Diego Zoo. The reason he sold them was because they were in one of his game parks, and the game park was being run over by elephants because elephants need a ton of space. And so it's actually hard to have a lot of elephants in one area because they start destroying the plant life. Like, they'll tear up the trees to eat and like stomp out everything. So you need a lot of land if you're going to own some elephants. PETA came in and was like, you're taking these elephants away from their home. And so he got raked over the coils for that. On the far left, we have Tall. He runs one of the game parks, and he took us through personally. And he also taught us about photography. Tall's biggest thing is overpopulation. Humans are destroying this planet, taking it away from the animals. So he wants to give the land back to the animals. He taught us a lot of cool things about the animals. He knows so much. He also hunts. He hunts poachers with his dog. Like, he trained his German Shepherd to like take down poachers, and he'll go out. He doesn't hunt them. He just like catches them, turns them in. So he's a real good with conservation. And that was just some of the people that I met. Cool. Switching sides from conservation to culture. This is one of the service projects we did. So this was when we were babysitting. So the community that we were in, they have a daycare that all the kids go to. It's run by volunteers, so those women are not paid. So it's a free daycare. We came in and we hung out with the kids and like entertained. And the kids are great, like just full of energy. It was so much fun, and they were all kind and sweet. And we gave them food, and we played games with them, and we gave them toys from the Happy Factory. Here is another service project we did, but these were for orphans. So in Swaziland and in South Africa, well, all of Africa, there is an epidemic going around of AIDS, and it wiped out the generation before us. So me being 22, that would be like my parents' age, like of like 30 to 50. And that generation is just gone because like they weren't having safe sex. And so there are a ton of orphans in Africa. And that's and so we went to an orphanage and we gave them food. We played with them for half the day and just like gave the teachers a break because they're there every day volunteering. And this is just one of the pictures I took. There are chickens in the background because they have their own chickens, they have their own goats, and they have their own garden to try to feed the kids. Cool. Here are some fun pictures I took of the kids that I met. They really liked my glasses. Again, too, the kids are so friendly and happy, and it gave me perspective in the sense of like they have nothing, but yet they find happiness in like just the littlest of things. And it really made me like appreciative of what I had and like where I grew up. And it made me like realize how easy it is to be happy. Here are the kids playing soccer. They were so fun to photographers. So this is a field and you'll see these cows. So they don't really have fences there. And two, right above the cows is the road. But see how it looks like a field? So this village is just mind blown to me because there was only one road in, one road out, and it was a dirt road because no one has cars. So to get to everyone's houses, you were like hiking through sunflowers, and it was beautiful, and I loved it. And these cows, like they belong to someone, and they're branded, so they know who they belong to, but they are free-range cows. Here are some of the pictures that I took that I really liked a lot, and like learning from my photography class how to take good pictures. The one with the zebra, I was standing that close to it. That was really cool that I had the opportunity to do that. And the texture from the grass and being inside. And then two, zebras are like the size of donkeys. So that's like kind of where you got that point. And then having its round belly with the colors. Love that picture. I really like the picture of the bald eagle, which is the blue background. It is a classic. And it was just standing above all the other trees. So one of the coolest things that I got to do in Africa was go on a nature walk. And we went with these guys that had huge guns because there were predators around. And they knew so much about animals, like how to track them. And So the elephant that you see, like we were actually standing that close to it and it was sniffing us out. And the guide we were with was like, stay in the blob together. Like we move as one. So that way the elephant doesn't get confidence to stampede us. And it was really cool. So I'm taking this picture and it's smelling us. And while I'm getting this picture and like not moving and looking at the elephant, 2 rhinos run right past us. And it was just the craziest thing. And we learned so much about elephants. Like they actually can disappear like really well. They can hide themselves so well. And you're like, what? It's a big gray mass. But their feet are actually made out of sponges. So they're dead quiet. And 2, they just know how to camouflage. Here are some more pictures I took. The one in the middle is Matt. He's one of the students that came with us. I really like this picture because of the lines. And then 2, the silhouette of the giraffe was taken in Kruger, and it's a classic. And then we have a dung beetle, which I thought was just fun to add. We actually saw this dung beetle on the side of the road, and our teacher made us pull over so we could take a look at it. So they roll around on this piece of dung, and that's how they get around. Here's one of my favorite parks that we got to, and it just kind of shows, like, and this was one of the parks where it was only prey, so we can walk around. And in the background, if you look at the mountain, it kind of looks like a lion. That's what they call the lion there, because there are no lions there. So they're like, if you want to see a lion, just look at the rock. But like I was able to walk around with all the zebras and the impalas. Here are some more pictures of animals. This one with the elephants is quite interesting because the pairing isn't likely. So we were learning from our tour guide that like, that is a male older elephant, the bigger one, and the tiny one is actually like a young girl elephant, and he like is protecting her, which is a weird pairing because you would think like mother-daughter, because males don't usually like take that protection. And then the giraffe, I really like the line. Fun facts about giraffes. So I was like, when I took this picture, I was like, oh, this giraffe is so lonely. And the tour guide is like, why do you think that? And I'm like, well, he has no one else to hang out with. And giraffes actually have a really low frequency of speech. That's why we can't hear them talk. And since it's low, they can talk like miles apart from each other and have conversations. So they don't need to be close. The bottom one is just hilarious. Took that in Kruger. There were a ton of monkeys everywhere. And they're just hilarious. These monkeys, you have to be careful because they're really smart. So humans can eat any food that a monkey eats, but baboons don't like humans. So they pretend to eat poisonous food and then throw it on the ground so you're watching. So that way you'll eat it and die. But humans do not fall for that because we know what they're trying to do. Here are some of the tour guides that I met. On the left, if you see, they did the zip lining for us. They were super fun, and it just was really cool to meet them. They're both students of conservation, and they love working at game parks. And then in the middle, we have someone who's shaping soapstone to sell, and the house behind him, if you look, that is where he lives. And that was just interesting to see like his clothes and stuff, because like he lives in this shack, but yet his clothes are super nice. So like appearance is very important. And then all the way on the right, we have a guy that I took a picture of, and he made these little figurine, and I took a picture of him in the swamp meet. Here are some more pictures that I love, so one of the classes I got to take was photography. So it was really cool to like go from taking pictures of people to taking pictures of animals. So these people, ironic, on one of our tours, we stopped by a brewery house. So like in this town, each homestead had their own thing that they would sell, and one of them was brewery. So these guys were in there and they were drunk and they really wanted their picture taken. So I took it of them and it turned out really well. I really like it. Also, these animals, I can't remember the names, but these ones are my favorite. I love their ears and the way their face is done. Super fun. Here are some pictures of the people I went on the trip with. That's us doing the zip line on the left. If you can see how we're all tethered in. That's Matt, and Anne, and John. So much fun. Amy is the one in the middle with the orange. I really like the orange background. I love the pictures with like just the big colors. And then this is Charlotte. She's walking through the sunflowers, and that was us like hiking around to the different villages. One of the things that really changed my perspective is like seeing how other people lived. It really showed like how I live now, because like I realized how good we have it. And so that was one of the things that I learned a ton on my SU outdoor study abroad. Here is one of the sunsets. The sunsets are amazing. So beautiful. We're driving around at night too, because most of the animals come out like during the evening or at dawn. So you have to either wake up really early or go out super late. And we went on so many game excursions. It was just such a great opportunity. This is our last slide, but one of the reasons too that I want to make this video is because I want people to know, like, look at how much I've learned. Like, I'm showing you pictures of my trip and explaining them, but yet on the other hand, like, I learned so much from people's perspective and their culture, and it made me grateful for my culture as well, because one of the biggest things that like Swaziland is held back is like women don't have as many rights over there as they do in the US, and it really made me grateful for like where I live and where I grew up.